Hello, I'm Blake Ress, Commissioner of the Indiana High School Athletic Association. Today I'd like to tell you about a friend to the more than 160,000 student athletes in the state of Indiana, Farm Bureau Insurance. In their own low-key way, Farm Bureau Insurance has played a key role in the success of high school athletic programs throughout the state. Since joining the IHSAA as its exclusive corporate partner in 1988, Farm Bureau Insurance has contributed more than $3 million in support of high school student athletes. On behalf of all the member schools of the IHSAA, we would like to take this opportunity to thank Farm Bureau Insurance for its support of our young people.
From Ben Davis High School, it's the state single-A softball championship. Today, the 32-0 Whiting Oilers taking on the 16-9 Lanesville Eagles. Hello, everybody. Jan Bozier and Brad Silver. And Brad, we've got a great one today for this single-A championship game.
Jan, this is going to be a battle of pitchers. You've got two of the best pitchers in the state in the form of Ashley Horton for the Lanesville Eagles and Mel Dumasic for the Whiting Oilers. Mel is right now 31-0. Ashley has won all of their games. She is 16-9. She is the only one who has pitched for the Lanesville Eagles so far this season. Both of them very close. Their earned run averages both right around .5. So this should be a great pitcher's battle between two great teams here.
And Brad, I'm telling you, it's all about getting hot at the right time. And Lanesville, during tournament time, has really gotten hot. Let's now go down to the PA announcer, Scott Gregg, for our starting lineups.
For the championship game in the 2006 Indiana High School Athletic Association State Class A softball finals. Our Class A championship game today features the guests on the scoreboard, the Whiting Oilers, against the home team, the Lanesville Eagles. Here are your rosters and batting orders for today's game, beginning with the guests, the Whiting Oilers. Number 4, Katie Bazat. Number 7, Katie Beda. Number 10, Rachel Maslakowski. Number 20, Audie Cruz. Number 23, Natalie Mendez. And the batting order for the Oilers, leading off and pitching, number 1, Mel Dumasic. Batting second, the shortstop, number 17, Victoria Franco. Hitting third, the second baseman, number 8, Kelly Jansky. Batting fourth and catching, number 33, Leanne Martinez. Hitting in the fifth position, the third baseman, number 32, Liz Kurash. Batting sixth, the first baseman, number 14, Ashley Kaltika. Batting seventh and playing left field, number 3, Sam Plavik. Hitting in the eighth position, the right fielder, number 21, Patty Mora. And batting ninth, the center fielder, number 5, Alex Simonek. Head coach of the Oilers, Paul Lobb. Assistant coaches, Bruce Stewart, Kelly Greer, and Michelle Cobley. And now your roster and batting order for the home team, the Lanesville Eagles. Number 2, Caitlin Dean. Number 3, Christina Adkins. Number 5, Hannah Schneider. Number 12, Amanda Johnson. Number 16, Rachel Stevenson. Number 18, Amy Parsons. Number 19, Robin Rosenberry. And the batting order for the Eagles of Lanesville. Leading off and playing left field, number 10, Allison Wolf. Hitting second, the shortstop, number 1, Aaron Dorgay. Batting third and playing second base, number 6, Beth Dorgay. Hitting fourth, the pitcher, number 14, Allison Horton. Batting in the fifth position, the designated player, number 15, Ashley Royalty. Hitting sixth and playing right field, number 7, Erin Harbison. Batting seventh, the first baseman, number 17, Ashley Simler. Hitting eighth and playing center field, number 4, Leanne Wolf. Batting ninth, the third baseman, number 11, Beth Glom. The flex players, the catcher, number 9, Shelby Fonda. Head coach of the Eagles, Kayla Strube. Her assistant coaches, Beth Bells, Kirsty Kellums, and Lindsay Price.
There you have our starting lineups. We'll be back for the opening pitch, but first, this timeout. At beautiful Ben Davis High School, Jan Bocher, Brad Silver, ready for this opening pitch. And Brad, we've had some rain in the area. How will that affect the field conditions in the play today?
Well, 2 hours ago, Jan, it was raining fairly hard out here. It stopped about 8:30. The grounds crew has been out here. They've done a super job. I had a chance to talk to head coach from Ben Davis, Bruce Poindexter, earlier, and they redid this field last year. They dug it out, put some limestone in, put some more absorbent rock, and put some newer type brick dust in here. So the field is in pretty good shape in spite of the fact that it is cool out here. We've got a strong wind blowing straight in. So as I said earlier, I think we're in for a pitcher's battle here. As far as Laneville, they got here from a game last night by defeating North Central by a score of 4-0. The Whiting Oilers defeated Lafayette Catholic 3-1 last night. So that's how these two teams got here. It's going to be an exciting matchup, Jan, and good crowd here today, a good lively crowd as you can hear in the background, and we're just about ready to play some softball.
Well, a tale of two different ball clubs. Lanesville losing their last two regular ball games and then getting hot, as I started to say before the starting lineups, and have really got hot at the right time, and that's what it's all about.
They sure have. In fact, Lanesville, if you look at the record, they lost 4 of their last 5 games, Jan, and but they've come in here defeating New Washington, Henryville, Northwest Du Bois, and Jan Sadeh in the sectional, in the regional to get here.
And Whiting will be the visitors on your scoreboard, and boy, are they hot. 32-0 after a mediocre type year last year, Brad. They're really coming in here undefeated and really looking for a state championship. We're ready for the first pitch. Here from Ben Davis High School, you can hear the crowd, and it's a good one. Both teams, Brad, I think will be very, very aggressive today.
Well, they're both going up against great pitching, so they're going to have to play it extremely tight.
And the first pitch is high. Let's talk about our first hitter, Brad.
Mel Dzimic is the pitcher for the Oilers. She is also one of the best batters on the team. She's a freshman batting .485.
Well, .485. That's why she's batting leadoff. That's high again. Little nerves, I'm sure, for both of these pitchers. They'll really try to settle down and get in their groove.
In fact, Mel Dzimic, she is rated right now as she's in the top 20 batting, hits per game, runs per game. She does it all.
Still high now to the 3-0 count. Now they give her a strike on that. Finally, 2-1, I should say. Umpire gave me a late signal there. And so she'll look at a 2-1 pitch. And a swing and a miss, and she's 2-2 now.
Allison Horton seemed to have a couple butterflies on those first couple pitches, Jan, but the last 2 pitches have been right in there.
High pitch, did she go around? She did, a strikeout.
She struck out. So Allison started off with 2 balls in a row and then ended up with 3 straight strikes to strike out the leadoff batter, Mel Dzimic. Look at that pitch, great pitch, and she just could not hold up in that high heat.
That brings up the shortstop, number 17, Franco. She swings and miss.
Victoria Franco comes in with a .182 batting average.
Horton really bringing the high heat here. Swing and a miss again. 0-2 now to Franco.
Well, this is starting out exactly as we talked in the pregame, Jan. Looks like we're going to have a great pitcher's duel here today.
Whiting looks, and she struck her out, so 2 will sit down here early as Horton, Brad, really getting in the groove quick.
Allison Horton started out a little bit nervous, but watch this last pitch there. A great pitch right at the belt, right on the outside corner of the plate.
Jansky will try to get something going with 2 down. Strike called on the outside corner. There you see
our home plate umpire, Dave Bogart's, just a little bit slow with the signals, so we're not trying to anticipate or anything. But
and there's a foul ball. Now quickly ahead of the hitter, 0-2 to Jansky.
Well, Horton has really come back and come on strong on these last 2 batters. She has not thrown a ball since the first 2 that she threw to Mel Dzimic.
Here comes the 0-2 pitch. She swings, pop up, should be caught, and it is to the second baseman. 3 up, 3 down. We'll be back for the bottom half of the first, but first, this timeout. Brad, let's take a look at the men in blue behind the plate and around the bases.
All of these umpires are seasoned veterans. Dave Bogart is behind home plate today. Ron Lowe at first base. Tommy Thomas over there at third base. And the home plate umpire, Dave Bogart, is going to have quite a day today because I think we're going to see a lot of strikes from these 2 pitchers. Got to give the grounds crew great credit out here today, Jan, because there was a lot of rain out here earlier this morning. They're out there between innings right now, trying to keep this field as playable as possible. Looking around right now, and what we hear is there is no rain in the area, but could possibly be some coming in a little bit later today. In looking at pitcher Mel Dzimic, she comes into this game with a 31-1 record, an ERA of .42. She also, as far as statistically goes, if I can find it here in front of me, she is leading the state with 31 victories. She is also in the strikeouts per game, also the earned run average, and she is quite the pitcher along with Allison Horton. We are going to see 2 great pitchers here in this game this morning, Jan.
Well, I'm sure she would tell you she wants one important victory. All those 30-plus victories won't mean a lot if she can't bring it home today. What an accomplishment to come in here undefeated as a pitcher, and she'll face the left fielder, Wolf. Here's her first pitch.
Strike 1.
And it's in there for a strike.
I think we're going to hear from Dave before we see his call there.
A lot of excitement around the softball world with the college championship going on. Great crowd here today. A bunt attempt. It's laid down nicely. Look, fielded properly, in and out. Jansky fields it very nicely on the bunt attempt, Brad.
Yeah, that was a great play there because the bunt comes down there, and it looks like the first baseman, Keltika, fielded that, and Kelly Jansky got over there just in time to make the out there at first. Great play by both Keltika and Jansky to get the out.
You see a lot of bunt attempts, or what they call slap downs at times here in softball, to really, there's a hit to the second baseman again, and 2 away just like that. You talk about a quick pace.
Well, it's a good thing with your voice today. We got a quick pace, Jan. Let's take a look at that again. A sharply hit ball there to Jansky. Easy fielding job. Goes over there to Keltika for the second out of the inning. That brings up Beth Dorgay. She's a senior batting .281.
Dorgay will try to get something going with 2 outs. Here comes the pitch, high.
Had a chance to see both of these pitchers last night in the preliminary games out at Hamilton Southeastern, and both of them looked very good.
1-0 pitch coming now with 2 outs. She takes a look at another ball, 2-0.
Good look there at Beth Dorgay. Stepping back in.
Lanesville defeating North Central, and that's over by Farmersburg. There's the pitch. And it's called strike. 2-1 now to Dorgay.
Lanesville scored 2 runs in the 4th inning last night, 3 runs in the 5th inning to shut out the North Central Birds. Actually, the Thunderbirds, but they call them the Birds.
And now there's 2-2. Lanesville beat Jason Dale and Hauser to work their way to what every girl tries to achieve here, playing softball. Here comes the 2-2 pitch. Swing and a miss. 3 up, 3 down. We'll go to the top of the second, but first, this timeout. Talk about pitchers getting in the groove. Both of them seem to find it pretty quick.
They sure did, Jan. The first inning, a total of 3 strikeouts in the first inning between the two teams. But here's an interesting stat. Allison Horton for Lanesville, she's averaging 13.7 strikeouts per 7-inning game. Mel Duzimic for Whiting, 11.4. As I said earlier, we are seeing some great pitching.
Horton will look at the catcher, Martinez. She'll look at batters 4, 5, and 6. At the top of the second. And a strike. You talk about getting ahead of the batters real quick, and so far Horton has did a pretty good job of that.
She sure has. That's the first ball she has thrown since the first batter she faced in the first inning. Everything else has been strikes.
1-1 now to the catcher, Martinez. She steps in. Infield, about 3 steps in from their bag. First and third. 2 balls, 1 strike. The thing I love about the softball is the enthusiasm. The players in the dugouts, the players on the field never stop talking.
It is quite an atmosphere, Jan, and if you have never seen high school or college softball, it's something well worth seeing.
There's the pitch, swung on to the second baseman, fields it cleanly, and an out.
Beth Dorgay had to go way over to her left to get that ball. I thought that might get by her as it's hit to her left, but she manages to get over there and make the stop and get it over to Ashley Simler for the first out of the inning.
So with 1 down now, Whiting comes up with their 5th batter. Here's the pitch, swung and a miss. Let's take a look at the third baseman here. Good look at number 32, Brad.
Liz Karash, she's a .352 hitter. She's a senior for this Oiler team.
And that goes by the catcher. No harm, no foul with no runners.
I don't know if you can hear it, Jan, but as Allison Horton does her windup, she slaps her glove on her leg or midsection there, and you'll hear this kind of a thud every once in a while, and that's what that is.
Pitch is high outside. If you looking at deep center, Brad, you're looking at all the flags out there. The wind is blowing.
It's blowing straight in. I would guess we got about a 15 or 20 mile an hour wind blowing straight in here.
Here's the 2-1 pitch. It's high again. 3-1 now. The Oilers trying to get a runner on base here.
Well, Karash knows that she's got a pitch to hit here because Horton does not want to put a base runner on at this point.
Karash looks at the 3-1 pitch. Here it comes. It's high, but she swings at it. Now we go to a full count to Karash, the third baseman.
I think you're seeing a little bit of butterflies here, Jan, because most of these teams are pretty well disciplined, and this ball is clearly way out of the strike zone.
Here's the payoff pitch, swung on, fouled back to Karash. She stays in there, makes good contact.
She's had a good at bat. Wound the count up here to 3-2, and fouling a pitch off here to stay alive. That's a sign of a good batter.
She stands in, looks at the full count, 1 out. Karash trying to get on first base. Here comes the pitch. And hit her, it did. You know, now interesting here, Brad, as I've been watching the college, the umpires have really put an emphasis, and we'll talk about this as the game goes, about girls getting out of the way of pitches, and if they don't, it's a judgment call whether they're hit by a pitch or not.
Well, it looked like Karash was trying to lean back from that, but of course with softball, the pitcher and the home plate are so close that by the time that ball gets there, by the time you try to move out of the way, at times it can be very difficult.
Watch the bunt. Here it comes. They're going to look at the bunt. She lays it down. Let's take a look at the first baseman here at her first bat, Brad.
Ashley Kaltika, she's a sophomore. She comes in batting only 179. So you would obviously think in this case with just 1 out that she would be up there bunting to try to pick up that, get that runner over to second.
Kaltika looks, shows bunt again early. Here comes the pitch. She lays it, fouls it back. That'll bring her to 0-2 now with the Still the runner at first and 1 out.
You know, these teams practice the bunt constantly, Jan, as in softball and baseball, and it's still one of the hardest plays for a batter to make.
Horton. What will she throw here with an 0-2 pitch? She just tries her to go after something there. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Didn't want to give her anything to hit there. See if she'd go after it. The 1-2 pitch. The wind up, the pitch. It's back to even now at 2-2.
Now the advantage kind of shifts back to the batter, Jan, because she does not want to go 3-2 on Caltica here.
Caltica looks in. Horton the pitch. And boy, I think that's a foul.
That's a foul ball, yeah.
She turned to hit her bat, but it's still 2-2.
It looked like what she was trying to do was check swing on that, and it ended up hitting the bat. Watch how she kind of defensively hits that, and just saves the at bat there.
Caltica looks at the 2-2 pitch, swing and a miss, and Horton sets her down.
3rd strikeout of the game for Ashley Horton so far, or Allison Horton, excuse me.
With 2 outs now in the inning, Brad, let's talk about number 3, the left fielder.
Sam Plavik comes in. She is a sophomore batting 185. There's a ball that gets away.
The ball gets away. Runner will get second. You talk about extra bases, and that's the first one now for Lanesville.
Basically, the situation we've got right now is Caltica went down swinging, trying to get that runner to second to try to get that run in, and we accomplished that with the wild pitch.
So now with the runner at second, time is called. Horton wants...
She wants a new baseball. It's probably a little wet, I would imagine.
Horton now with a 1-0 count. 2 outs. Here's the wind up, the pitch, and
nice pitch.
That was just...
Apparently a little bit inside. I thought that was going to be called a strike. Apparently a little bit inside.
2-0 the count. Boy, it must have been inside because it sure looked about belt high. Here comes the 2-0 pitch. It's in there, swing and a miss. And a quick 2-1 count now.
That's the pitch Horton wanted right there. She wanted to get that ball in there and either get a swinging strike or a called strike, which she was going to get on that one.
The Oilers desperately wanting to try to get a run here. And there's another pass pitch. The runner goes to third. No play will be made. And now the Whiting Oilers, Brad, are threatening with the runner at third.
They sure are. Shelby Fonda, the catcher, that ball just bounced right off of her mask. I don't know if she was expecting that somewhere else and just couldn't react to it in time, but that ends up putting Liz Karash on third base. So any kind of a hit here will give the Oilers a lead.
Any kind of hit whatsoever will score. What a swing and a miss. Boy, Horton really brought it that time.
High heat there, and again, it's just like in many other sports in baseball. That's a hard pitch to lay off of there. So we got a full count here.
Full count, 2 outs, runner at third. Here comes the pitch. And she walks her.
Little high and outside on that last pitch there, Jan.
So that's going to bring up the right fielder. Let's talk about number 21.
Patty Mora is a senior. She's batting .227 coming into today's game.
So now with runners at the corner, Mora comes up to the plate.
Oilers with a great chance here to put a run on the board here in the top of the second. Base runner Plavik goes ahead and steals, takes the second. No throw on her whatsoever. Watch, I wouldn't expect a throw.
Mora looks at the first strike to her. Here comes the second pitch, and
it looked a little high. Whoop, got the strike called.
Strike called. 0-2 now to Mora.
This is a situation that Allison Horton really wants to have here. 0-2, she can waste a couple pitches if she wants to.
Brings a high hit and sets her down. Horton does her job. We'll step away. Still no score. Back after this. Well, you see all zero straight across for both teams, Brad. Lanesville now will look at their part of the second as a little bit of showers start to approach us, but still pretty good conditions now as Lanesville takes their second bat of the game.
Well, hopefully this rain will stay away or stay light so we can get these games in, Jan. But I'll tell you, the Lanesville Eagles really dodged a bullet there in the top of the second inning. And the Whiting Oilers probably going out on the field are saying, boy, did we miss a chance.
And
pitcher against pitcher now.
Yeah, Allison Horton, number 14. Well, she bats cleanup. She does it all. That pitch is low and inside. Let's talk about Allison Horton's batting.
Allison Horton is a .486 batter, as we were alluding to in the pregame. Both of these pitchers are not only good pitchers, but they're good batters, and they help their team both ways.
2-0 now, just inside. Boy, and the crowd didn't like that one.
That was close.
Crowd really into this. Here's the pitch, fouls it off. 2-1 now, got a piece of it.
I think one of the things for these players is going to be, Jan, is now they have we're already into the bottom of the second inning. They've seen what home plate umpire Dave Bogart's strike zone is, so I think we're going to see a little more swinging here now.
Time called. An umpire talks to Horton.
I think Allison Horton wanted a timeout there. They finally gave it to her, but the umpire is going over toward the first base dugout there. Not quite sure exactly what's going on here, but I believe that Allison Horton was the one who wanted the timeout.
Well, he's going to talk to both head coaches. Really not sure what he's talking about. He may be talking about calling timeout at certain times. I know some umpires are a little more picky about that. I'm only guessing here, don't know. But he may set the stage for how he will allow them to call timeout. See, she calls timeout right there.
And Dumasic was already starting her windup.
Yeah,
I think that's where the problem came in.
Pretty comfortable. That's what he's talking about,
Yeah.
the proper time to call timeout. So Horton looks at the 3-1 pitch now. And kind of defensively fouls it off. Now for a full count to Horton.
Well, that ball had strike written all over it there, Jan. That was a ball that was right over the plate, just a little bit above the knees, so she didn't swing at that. She was going to get called on that, make it a full count.
Here's the pitch, swings, a little dribbler to the shortstop. Franco throws her out at first.
Nice play there by Victoria Franco at shortstop. That ball was not hit very hard, and Horton was hustling down that line, and they just barely made the play. Franco got that over to Keltica just in time, just made that out by one step there. It was a little closer than what it looked.
It sure was. Great replay by our crew here today, and that'll bring up Royalty, the DH. Ball one, low and inside now to Royalty. Let's take a look at her stats, Brad.
Royalty is a sophomore. She's batting .254.
Swing and a miss. 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out.
Mel Dumasic doing a little bit work on the front of the pitcher's area out there. Watch this fastball. That was a fast ball.
31-0. I can't even imagine. A swing and a miss.
I know I said 31-1 earlier, but excuse me.
31-0. Of course, in softball, you can pitch every game if you want.
There's no restrictions.
No restrictions, and you can understand you wouldn't want to that's fouled back. You would not want to restrict a 31-0 pitcher.
Yeah, she has pitched every inning that that the Oilers have played, with the exception of 7. Leanne Martinez did pitch 1 game and got 1 win.
1 ball, 2 strike pitch. He hesitates, but fouls it off the third baseman. Garage throws it out.
That was kind of one of those excuse me check swings that
it was.
The ball ended up having to go into fair play.
That'll bring 2 outs up in this inning now, and Lanesville will try to get something going with 2 outs. There's
just
a
kind
look
of an
at
excuse me swing there, and third baseman Liz Karash got over there in plenty of time, gets it over to Ashley Kaltika, and ends up getting the out.
Let's take a look at the right fielder, number 7 for the Eagles.
Aaron Harbison comes in as .276. Oh boy, just barely out of the reach there of Leanne Martinez.
Harbison tried to bunt it, but fouls it back. The wind really blowing in from the outfield in.
I think the rain is probably stopped. I think all the umbrellas are back down right now, so hopefully we can get this thing in without any more delays.
Harbison looks, high pitch, takes a ball. Still no score from Ben Davis High School.
Harbison, the right fielder for the Lanesville Eagles.
The Class Single A Championship girls softball. Swing and a miss.
For those of you who aren't familiar with where Lanesville is, it's down in southern Indiana in Harrison County. Enrollment of 243 students, part of the Southern Athletic Conference.
They certainly have came away to try to get that coveted medal. High pitch, no harm, no foul, no runners on base. Harbison now will look at a 2-2 pitch, 2 outs. Bottom half of the second for the Lanesville Eagles.
Both these teams in their first appearance in the state finals. They've been to the Final Four before.
Swing and a miss, and Dumich will set them all down. 3 down. We'll come back for the top of the third, but first this timeout. Well, there's a Brave fan in the right field setting with their umbrella up, not raining real hard, just some sprinkles here, Brad, as we look at the top of the third. Still no score, still a good pitcher's duel.
Lanesville Eagles here dodged a bullet last inning against the Whiting Oilers, but the Oilers are going to bring the 9-1-2 batters up here to face Allison Horton. I think that fan out in the right field there, I hope they're out there just blocking the wind with that umbrella and hope it's not raining. It is windy out here, and it's cool.
Well,
it's very cool.
She's going to face number 9 batter, the center fielder. Let's talk about Simonek.
Allison Simonek, she's a senior. She's batting 149.
Horton, the pitch, swings, goes to the shortstop. And, boy, what a nice play, though, at first, really, to dig it out. It was a little low, Brad.
Aaron Dorgay made the, scooped it up there at shortstop, but Ashley Simler actually really made that play, Jan, because that ball came in very low to her, and Simonek was heading right down that line, and Simler did a nice job of digging that thing out of the dirt to get the out.
Boy, Simler really stretched. It made that look a lot easier, I think, than it really was. There's the pitch with 1 down.
Top of the order back up for the Oilers.
Okay. Two and 0 now. To the pitcher. Pitcher against pitcher. You always love it when the pitchers have to look at each other.
Usually the pitchers aren't that good at hitters, but in this case they're both great hitters too.
Swing and a miss. Horton bringing in a high heat. Two balls, 1 strike now. Boy, in there. Oh, what
a play.
Oh, my. What a great by Harbison. Really fielded.
Watch this ball. This ball looks like it's going to be in there for at least a single, and Aaron Harbison just manages to come up with that and kind of got the snow cone there right on the end of the mitt. Great play by Aaron Harbison out there in right field. Look at it again here, and you just see her just getting that glove down, just scooping that up before it hit the ground.
Well, right now, that's the play of the game. It may change,
sure is.
But that for sure looked like a sure base hit. What a great play. That's when the state championship game, you've got to make those, oh my goodness, plays, and there's our first. And a swing and a miss with 2 outs.
That's also the first ball that's been hit out of the infield, Jan, in the whole game.
0-2 now. Boy, Horton has really pitched a great game so far. And there's a strikeout on the outside corner to Franco. So that's it. No runs, no hits, no people left on. We're back after this. Jan Bozier, Brad Silver from Ben Davis High School. You got to have good pitching, and do we have good pitching today or what?
We have seen an excellent game all around, Jan, not only pitching-wise, but that defensive play out there in right field by Haberson. That could be a game-saving play before this is all over.
There's the first pitch to a strike to the first baseman, Simler.
Eagles are sending up their 7, 8, and 9 batters here in the third.
Ooh, did she go around? They say no. 1-1 now. She'll look at batters 7, 8, and 9 in this bottom half of the third.
Surprised there wasn't an appeal on this, because that bat did come. Oh, no, I guess not. It looked like she was trying to turn away from it.
Swing and a miss. 1 ball, 2 strikes now to Simler. Boy, she really showed her a different motion that time, Brad. She really slowed her arm down and picked it up.
You know, a lot of times the pitchers try to keep that same motion so the batters can't be tipped off at what the pitch was. But that time, Dumasic changed her motion a little bit, and I think it crossed up Simler to get the strikeout.
Dumasic looks, pitches, and a strike.
Leanne Wolf stepping in for the Eagles. She's a 213 hitter.
The center fielder, Wolf now, the number 8 batter, will look at 1 out, and Dumasic, boy, fouls it off, and she really jammed her inside, but Wolf fought her off.
Dumasic has been doing a great job all through the game so far of getting ahead of the batters. Here she is ahead 0-2 on Wolf already.
Here comes the 0-2 pitch, high. 1 ball, 2
almost
strikes
right at the
now.
chin there.
Yeah, that certainly was high. And that
Beth Glom on deck for the Eagles.
The number 9 hitter. 1 ball, 2 strikes. The pitch.
A little high and outside that time instead of high and inside.
2-2-1 now. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 1 out. As Wolf will step back in. Here's the pitch. And got her swinging.
Third strikeout of the game for Mel Dumasic.
And with 2 outs in the inning, Beth Glob will come up, the third baseman.
Beth steps in, the sophomore, batting 160 for the Eagles.
She shows bunt, fouls it back, and boy, with the pace of this ball game and the way the outs are being made, so far you're looking at not a lot of attempts at bat here.
No, as we said earlier, this pitcher's battle is going to make it very interesting. And the defensive play last inning by Haberson, that could be the play of the game, Jan.
She looks to bunt, bunts it, but fouls it off. That's going to get her behind 0-2 now.
Well, the thing on that one is Glom probably should have pulled the bat back on that one, because that ball was almost up at her eyes, and the high pitches are very, very difficult to get that bunt down on.
Glom steps back in, looks at an 0-2 count. Here comes the pitch, and that's high, outside, a ball.
Dumasic has got a couple pitches that she can give away here, but the way she's been going at things so far, she's just been going right at the batters and not wasting many pitches.
Boy, she brought the high heat. Will set Glob down, 3 up, 3 down. We've played 3, no score, and we're back after this. Batters 3, 4, and 5 now for the Oilers, Brad. Jansky will come up for her second attempt. She struck out her first time.
See how Allison Horton comes back here, Jan. She went 3 up, 3 down last time she was up, but the second inning was a little bit rocky for her. She starts out with a ball.
Horton's pitch. Straight down the middle and a strike called. 1-1 now to Jansky, the second baseman. Swing and a miss. She's also doing a nice job, Brad, of moving the ball around the plate.
She is. Horton's got 5 strikeouts so far in this game to 4 for Dumasic. Nice pitch.
1-2 pitch swung on high. Center fielder should have it. Wolf looks, fields it nicely, and the out.
Leanne Wolf did a nice job of getting under that ball, especially with that wind blowing in, Jan. That ball could have faded back toward the infield and made it a very difficult play for her, but she did a nice job of getting under it and getting the out.
That'll bring up the catcher, Martinez. That's a baseball name. I love that name. Martinez. Swung on, looks at the shortstop, can't field it cleanly, and we've got a runner.
Erin Dorgay is probably going to be charged with an error, and she is charged with an error on that one because that's a play that she's telling her teammates, hey, I blew it, I should have made that play, but that gives the Oilers their third base runner of the game. Let's take a look at this, and you'll see Dorgay charge the ball, and the ball appears to take maybe just a little bit of a funny bounce there, but a play she knew she should have made.
So now with the Oilers having a runner on first, that'll bring up Courage, the third baseman.
Courage got hit by a pitch in the second inning, ended up on third base, but could not score.
Swing and a miss. Boy, in softball, Brad, with the length of the field, it's so reactionary, and your margin of error is so small because it's so fast coming at you.
Well, the bases are so much closer that you've got to make those plays.
There's the pitch. And that's called strike. Now 1 ball, 2 strikes to Courage. She would certainly like to get Martinez moved around. And a base hit, and it goes by the right fielder. The runner will go to third. Are they going to wave her on? Yes, they are. Here comes our plate on the plate, and we got our first score as the Whiting Oilers get their first run of the ball game.
I was watching the third base coach on that, Paul Laub, and he was motioning Leanne Martinez to go all the way in, straight in. She never slowed down around third base. But the key to this play is last inning, Erin Harbison made a great catch out there in right field, and that ball managed to get by her this time, Jan, setting up the run. So I think we're going to credit Courage. We're going to have to credit her with a base hit here, but when that ball gets by Harbison, we're going to give Martinez the score on an error. So that should be the second error of the inning for the Oilers.
So just like that.
First hit of the game also.
Yeah.
So actually what we'll do is we'll credit Courage with a base hit, a 1 base hit, and then she'll take second on the error, and Martinez scores on the error, on the fielding error there by right fielder Erin Harbison.
That'll bring up the first baseman, Kurtika. And now, right now, Lanesville is simply, Brad, regrouping and say, listen, this is just 1 run. There's lots of softball to be played here. Don't let it worry you. You can't make the whole game based upon the 1 run.
But in this case, Jan, with the type of pitching that we've seen today, 1 run,
it could be a lot.
It could be big. Hopefully for Lanesville, it's not going to hurt them here.
And I think therein lies the conversation. They have to tidy it up a little bit. She fouls the first one off.
Kaltika struck out swinging in the second inning.
Boy, what a great crowd here at Ben Davis High School. Beautiful field. Hometown television, the whole crew doing the spectacular job as always.
Looks like we're going to get a pinch runner here that Liz Courage is going to come out. And it looks like the pinch runner going in for the Oilers is going to be number 20, Addie Cruz. Of course, Courage will be allowed to re-enter the game defensively.
Kurtika steps back in, looks at an 0-1 count, 1 out. Cruz at second now on the pitch runner. Infield is really in at first and third. And the pitch is in for another strike, 0-2 now.
I think what Coach Paul Loeb is looking at here, Jan, is getting some more speed on the bases and hopefully being able to score and get another run here.
There's the pitch. And it's a shot to center field, and she can't catch it. Here comes Cruz around third. And there'll be a play. No! She's in there for score number 2. And the runner goes to third. And the Whiting Oilers are making all kinds of noise here in the fourth.
Going to credit Ashley Keltika with a 2-base hit there and give her third on the throw home. But you've got to give Coach Paul Laub credit. He brought in a pinch runner there for Liz Karash, and when Addie Cruz, when that ball bounced off the mitt there of the center fielder, Leanne Wolf, Paul Laub just sent her running, and she went all the way. Let's take a look at this play here. It looks like Leanne Wolf may have a play on this, but she had to go a long way, just a little bit out of her reach there. That's clearly going to be a 2-base hit. She brings this ball into the cutoff person, the shortstop, and it looks like there may be a play at the plate, but Addie Cruz beats that play to home and makes it a 2-0 game now in favor of the Whiting Oilers. Second run, second hit.
So Mr. Moe has certainly swung himself over to the Whiting Oilers now. When you talk about a 1-run lead, could be a lot. 2 runs now is huge.
This could be huge, Jan, especially the way Mel Dumich has been pitching so far, pitching a no-hitter up to this point, a perfect game through 3 innings.
Of course, you love to pitch with the lead, too. Your selection of pitches takes just a little different edge to it. Here comes the pitch, and it's right down the strike zone.
Sam
They say a little
Plavik.
lull. They gave her a ball.
Yeah, Plavik walked her last time up in the second inning.
Orton, still the pitcher. Swing and a miss. Still 1 out. 2 runs now have scored for the Whiting Oilers and a runner at third. Orton the pitch.
A little bit inside on that. I thought that might have hit her, but apparently it didn't. Let's watch how tight that pitch came in, Jan. That was just barely got back out of the way of that.
Yeah, she really brought it inside. There's a pitch swung on, high pop up, out of play, but it'll be fielded nicely by Simler, the first baseman, and a play at home. Did she get her? No, she's safe.
She's safe.
She's safe, and 3 runs now have scored for the Whiting Oilers.
What a heads-up running play by the first baseman, Keltika. You'll see Simler going over there with her back to home plate, and as soon as she makes that catch, Keltika takes off for home, and I don't think Simler thought that she was going anywhere. Of course, the catcher was going over there to back her up, so Shelby Fonda was not in position, so the ball just couldn't get there as quickly as they did. So 3-0 now in favor of the Oilers. What a change in this inning.
And that looked like a good call by the umpire, too. It clearly looked like her foot was there. There's a swing right down the first base line, and it's foul ball.
That was one of those that was rolling right down the baseline, Jan, and as soon as Shelby Fonda saw that ball go out of bounds, she jumped on that to make sure that Sam Plavik, or correction, Patty Mora was not going to. Here's the play by Simler, and all of a sudden the catcher, Fonda, realizes that the runner is going, and she just couldn't get back in time to make the play. Wow. I think that's the key to the play, is the coach at third base saw that the catcher was so far off the plate that it was just going to be a match to who's going to get to the plate first.
Yeah, no question, a heads-up coaching move, swinging a foul ball back to Mora. Now 3 runs for this Whiting Oiler undefeated ball club.
I wonder if we have to give Playback a sacrifice fly on that.
I don't know, Brad. Boy, Horton now will have to dig deep inside. She cannot lose her confidence. Being hit with 3 runs in this 4th inning. Swung on. That'll go out of play to the right field side.
Into the Oilers dugout.
0-2 now with 2 outs.
Really, this all started with an error by the shortstop that led to Leanne Martinez getting on base, Jan.
If you're Lanesville, you definitely don't want any more runs. They'll have to really tidy up this defense. They need the 3rd out. There's the pitch. And it's a ball. 1 ball, 2 strikes, and 2 outs now to Mora.
Horton looking like she's getting just a little bit frustrated out there, Jan.
And a strike 3, but not before damage is done. 3 runs will score for Whiting, so 3-0. And we'll be back after this.
Here's a replay of that play going into the plate there, and you watch the slide here. The catcher, Fonda, is trying to get back. In the runner, Keltika, she just slides to the inside of the plate there and just barely avoids that tag. That was a close play.
Well, while we look at the replay, we had a pop-up fly. One out now. Swing and a miss.
Erin Dorgay steps in for the second time. She grounded out to the second baseman in the first inning.
That brings up Erin Dorgay, the shortstop. Swing and a miss.
Here's the first out of the inning. Just a little pop fly there. The catcher, Shelby Fonda, ends up taking. Shelby Fonda.
Swung on. Foul ball to the left field side. That'll make it 0-2 now for Dorgay.
Lanesville needs to settle down here, Jan, and try to get some runners on base and make some runs here, because Mel DeSimich, she's just absolutely burning them up through the order here.
Boy, DeSimich really puts that one, just a perfect pitch, and sets Dorgay down with a strikeout on the right corner.
That's her 5th strikeout of the game through 3 1/3 innings. Look at the pitch here. Nice pitch right over the outside corner of the plate at the knees.
She really pushed off with that back leg to put a little extra on that 0-2 pitch. Or I should say 2 outs now. New batter is Beth Dorgay.
She's a senior, batting .281. She struck out in the first inning.
Boy, you certainly like to pitch with a 3-run lead. You can relax a little bit, but you certainly don't want to give Lanesville anything to get started on either.
No, Mel DeSimich, she's going to have to really bear down here and just not open the door at all.
Swung on and a miss. 1 ball, 2 strikes, 2 out.
The Oilers have got the momentum going for them now, Jan, and they need to keep that momentum going. But in the same turn, Lanesville is trying to figure out a way to get that momentum back.
The 2-out pitch, and then make it 3. DeSimich is really putting on a clinic here. So the bottom of 4 is complete. It's 3-0. We're back after this. Well, there you see the numbers. Whiting 3-2-0, Lanesville 0-0-2. And Horton will look at the 5th inning now, and she's going to face the number 9 batter, Simonik.
Well, if there's one inning that Allison Horton could get back, she certainly would like to have that 4th inning back. 2 runs, or rather 3 runs, 2 hits, 2 errors in that inning, and those errors were critical, Jan.
Boy, Horton really squeezed her inside, but they give her a strike. Wow.
That ball looked like it was very, very much inside. In fact, I almost thought it hit her.
Well, I did not see, and at least this pitch is a good foot back from the plate. Swung on, high ball, second baseman should have it. Dorgay gets it, and there's 1 out.
Well, this is just the way that Allison Horton and the Lanesville Eagles need to start this inning off with an out and get that first out of the inning. Give them defensively a little confidence there as Beth Dorgay makes that play there at second base.
That'll bring up the pitcher again. She'll try to help her cause here at the plate.
Dubasic
with the strike.
She's 0 for 2 so far in this game.
Horton took a little something off that one, but a little low, 1-1.
Dubasic was robbed of an extra base hit in the 3rd inning by that great catch that Aaron Haberson made out there in right field.
1 ball, 2 strikes now. Here's the pitch, Horton low. 2-2 now. 32-0 are these Whiting Oilers, and 33 would be special. And they're right now 3 runs ahead of this Lanesville Eagle Ball Club. Full count now.
Especially after the season they had last year. Last year they were 16-11, but in 2003 and 2004 they made it to the Final Four. This is their first trip to the state final.
Boy, she protects herself and fouls it off. And you talk about location. Whiting is about as far northwest as you can get, and Lansville's about as southeast as you can get. So these ball clubs rarely will ever see themselves playing against each other until you hit the state finals. And there's the pitch and a walk.
It's the second walk of the game given up by Allison Horton.
That'll bring up the shortstop, number 17, Victoria Franco.
She's been the victim of Allison Horton twice, struck out looking in the first and third innings.
She shows bunt, turns, bunts it, but fouls it back.
Looked like Dumasich took off with the pitch there, but she stopped shortly after taking off there. I thought maybe at first he might have had a little hit and run on there.
Runner at 1 is Dumasich. Pitcher. She'll go to second, and the ball goes by, backed up by the center fielder.
It almost looked like Franco was trying to square to bunt on that. Maybe had a hit and run there, but Dumasich had a nice, you can't call it a lead because she can't leave the base until the ball leaves the pitcher's hand, but she got out of there very quickly and was easily into second base.
So with the runner now at second, Franco will try to get this in play and add to that already 3-run lead. She squares to bunt, and she'll foul it back.
What Franco was going to try to do here is get that ball off to the right side and force the first baseman Simler or the second baseman Dorgay or possibly even the pitcher Horton to make the play to get Dumasich over to third base.
Horton looks. Here comes the pitch. Franco brings it back. 2-2, 1 out now. One out for the Oilers. Swing and a miss, and she'll set down with a strikeout.
Second out of the inning for the Oilers here, but that really doesn't hurt them real bad because we've got Kelly Jansky coming up here. Watch this pitch. A little bit high there, but a ball that was definitely hittable. And you can see Mel Dumasich, she was taking off with that pitch there, ready to go.
That'll bring up the second baseman, Kelly Jansky.
Jansky's flown out twice, once to the second base and once to center field, but she is a .341 hitter, so basically any kind of a hit here probably is going to score another run for the Oilers.
Time called.
Third baseman Beth Glom giving some instructions to Allison Horton here. I imagine what they're looking at is possibly either the steal situation or what to do if that ball comes over on the left side there, Jan.
Glom and Simler both are playing very much in from first and third.
See the shortstop Aaron Dorgay shifting over to third there with the pitch.
Here comes the 0-2 pitch, 2 outs. Horton brings it high. Now the pressure certainly now has shifted. Lanesville cannot afford any more scores here, Brad.
No, they cannot, Jan.
Here's the pitch, swung on, little blooper to the shortstop, Dorgay, and that'll be the inning for the Whiting Oilers. The top of it is complete. Our score is Whiting 3, Lanesville 0, and we're back after this. There you see beautiful downtown Indianapolis from Ben Davis High School. Brad Silvert and Jan Bozier here for the state single-A softball championship. Our batter now is the pitcher Allison Horton. batters 4, 5, and 6 now for Lanesville. And Brad, quite honestly, they need to get something going.
They need to get something going here, and they need to break this no-hitter that Dumasich has been throwing at them.
There's a pop-up infield. Great effort by the first baseman.
Keltika tried to come over there and grab that ball, but I think what happened there, Jan, is she was getting a little closer to the fence. She had to slow down because that ball was just almost like just a couple feet from the fence there. I dare say if they had a little larger foul area there, maybe she might have been able to make that play.
Keltika makes a great effort to get after it. Every out so important. Swung on and a miss by Horton, and she'll sit down with the strikeout.
7th strikeout of the game now for Mel Dumasich.
That'll bring up Ashley Royalty, the DH, number 15.
Royalty's a .254 hitter for the Eagles. Just a sophomore, so she's got a couple more years to go with this team.
She looks at the first pitch of the ball. There's a great look at number 15. So many people start the season with dreams of being here, and only 2 teams can do it. Slapped on and a foul ball. So many things have to go right, though, during his season. You know,
oh, it does, Jan.
Injuries, all kinds of things.
Just the way the ball bounces or weather or just so many factors. And to come in here undefeated is amazing.
Pitch is high for a ball, 1-1. Just a pitch here, a hit here, or just a play there. There's the pitch, and it's low for a ball. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 1 out now, as Lanesfield's number 5 hitter, the DH, Ashley Royalty. Swung on and a miss, and boy, that was just a high fastball for strikeout number 2 of the inning.
As this game goes on, it looks like Mel Dumasich is getting stronger and stronger and stronger. That is 1, 2, 3, 4 batters in a row that she has faced. In fact, of the last 1, 2, 3, 4.
Dumasich.
Of the last 9 batters, she has struck out 8 of the 9.
Boy, the Whiting fans do not like that call. They thought it was a strike. The umpire says a little low. Once again, the raindrops start to fall here at Ben Davis. 1 ball, 1 strike, now 2 outs. And we talked about what would be a complete game with the unfortunate possibility of major rain.
Well, I'm not sure exactly what it is. During normal season, 5 innings is an official game. So if we get through this point, we do have an official game. But in tournament play, it could also be that they want to finish those 7 innings.
Well, you work so hard to get to this level. You would hope the kids can have a chance of playing it all. Boy, and the umpire says no to that.
Dumasich is down 3-1 here to Erin Harbison. I believe that's the first time in a long time that she's been behind a batter.
Well, that looked maybe a little high from that angle. And that pitch is fouled back by Harbison.
Full count with 2 outs.
Harbison set down last time by a strikeout. Quite honestly, Lanesville has not had much offense today.
None at all.
Well, and that's a credit to the pitcher. Swung on, just foul ball. Rolls to the fence now. That'll make it a full count with 2 outs.
Harbison's the 15th batter that Duzumic has faced, and 9 of those have been strikeouts.
Swung on, no, what are they saying? Nope, I thought she was going to swing, she did not, and that'll be a walk.
That's the first base runner of the day for the Lanesville Eagles in the form of Erin Harbison.
So a runner, you don't care how they get there, Brad. Lanesville has a runner on first, and to try to keep it going will be the first baseman, Simler.
Simler's a junior batting .220. She struck out for her first at bat in the 3rd.
Swung on, fouled back. And she immediately walks over to the dugout. I'm not sure what happened.
Kind of wondering if she might not have caught that ball on her hand a little bit there, the way she's looking at her fingers there, that maybe that ball was, when it was fouled off, also hit her hand at the same time.
She's in a little bit of pain right now. I think you're right, Brad. I think she actually, let's take a look at it.
Pick it up on the replay here. Yeah, it looks like it might have got her right on the knuckles of that right hand there, which is on the top of the bat. The training staff coming in there to take a look and see what's going on here. While we got a minute, want to thank our great hometown television IHSAA crew. We got Roy Johnson, Brett Vanderweilen, Jim McCoy out there in various locations manning some of the cameras. Rick Vanderweilen and our director Alan Hughes just doing a great job. And who's that guy in replays?
The replay master.
Yeah. But the hometown television crew doing a great job here under, all you can say is somewhat adverse conditions here. You think of the 10th of June and you think it's going to be shorts and T-shirt weather, and we see a lot of the people out here in sweatshirts and coats and just trying to keep warm, because when I got here about 8:30 this morning, the temperature was right in the about 60 degrees, and I don't think it's warmed up at all. The wind is still blowing, looks like it was blowing straight in before. It looks like it's straight out of the east right now, Jan.
Well, and the rain has picked up just a little bit more. And the bunt is laid down, fielded by the pitcher, throw the first, run, and it's out, and that'll do it. For the bottom half of the 5th inning, no score still for Lanesville. We're back for the top of the 6th, but first this time out. Well, the pitcher, Horton, will look at batters 4, 5, and 6, and there's a little bit of moisture coming down, but boy, how great does this field look, Brad?
Hey, I got to give a lot of credit to Bruce Poindexter, who's the varsity softball coach here at Ben Davis. He and his crew have done a great job of getting this thing together and keeping this field playable in spite of the little bit of rain that we had and all the rain that we had here early this morning, Jan. Let's move into the top of the 6th, see what happens here for the Oilers.
Martinez steps in. She reached on an air and scored last time up.
She was actually the one that started it in the 4th inning. With 1 out, she reached on an air and ended up scoring the first of the 3 Oiler runs that they scored there in the 4th.
Horton, pitch, swung on to the shortstop, fielded nicely, and just a real clean play as Dorgate is Sendler for the first out.
What the Whiting Oilers are hoping for here is for the rest of this game to go very quick before it does end up getting stopped by rain. And, of course, what the Lanesville Eagles would like to have is they want to have they've got 2 more chances to put runs on the board.
That'll bring up the 5th batter. Swung on, and Horton walks.
It'll be a tough play.
It'll be a tough play. Do they get her? Yes, they do. As Courage on a fielder's choice to first base for out number 2.
Well, this is just the type of inning that the Lanesville Oilers defensively, or rather the Lanesville Eagles defensively, would like to have. You see their Beth Dorgay scoops that ball at second, gets it over to Ashley Simler for the out. 2 pitches and 2 outs.
Here's the 3rd batter of the inning, Ashley Kritika, the first baseman. She had a big-time double last time up, scored a run. Boy, and the skies continue to get ever so gray. The lights are on. Still not enough rain to do damage. We're hoping that sail doesn't pick up any speed or we could really get wet. I say we're kind of dry.
Yeah, we're in the protection of a nice, lovely press box here, Jan. I mean, we've got it good. Our crew, Brent and the guys out there, they're getting a little damp.
Kurtika now with the 2-1 pitch, swung on, foul back, 2-2 pitch to the 3rd batter of the inning. Horton, as you talked about, Brad, I'm sure would love to have that 4th inning back. If short of that, it's been a very good ball game for her.
The whole team would like to have that back, especially their shortstop, Aaron Dorgay.
Here comes the pitch, and that's very high into the fact it goes over the catcher's mitt, and that'll bring a full count now with 2 outs.
Got to believe that that dampness on the ball is going to have quite an effect on the pitchers now because of their grip on that.
Horton would love to set this batter down. Swung on, should be fielded, she'll be tough, and
she beats it out.
Tika gets on first base.
Beth Dorgay had to go way to her left in order to make that play, and that ball was hit very deeply there between the first and second base, and they are going to credit her with an error on that one. Let's take a look at it here and see how this is. That ball is hit to her left. She had to go over, but actually all she had to do, Jan, is stop that ball, and she'd had to play. So the third error of the game for the Eagles.
2 outs in the inning. The Oilers trying to extend it a little bit here. Whoa, that ball was inside. Pushed her back a little bit.
Look at how inside this thing ends up being, Jan. Boy, Plavik just managed to get out of the way of that.
There's a swung on base hit.
Well, how often, Jan, does that 2-out error come back to haunt teams? And unfortunately for the Eagles, it looks like that could possibly be the case here.
That'll bring up the right fender more. Let's take a look at the base hit.
Nice base hit there right between the third baseman and the shortstop. Nobody was going to get to that ball.
Just well hit.
Third hit of the game for the Oilers. Patty Morris stepping in. She struck out twice in this game, once looking, once swinging. Ended both the second inning and the fourth inning, so she's kind of hoping that she does not end this inning. She'd like to keep it going. Allison Horton would like to stop it right here.
Swung on, fielded by the second baseman over to the shortstop, and that should do it for the inning, and it does. 3 outs for the top of the 6. It's 3-0. Whiting Oilers over Lanesville Eagles. We're back after this timeout. There you see the numbers for Whiting, 3-3-0, Lanesville 0-3. Let's talk about our pitcher stats so far in this game.
She's got 9 strikeouts so far in this game, allowed 1 runner on a walk in the last inning, Jan. She's you got to give Mel Dumasic credit. She has pitched a great game for the Oilers.
Umpire calling time. Dumanich gives him a nice smile. There you see number 1. What a fantastic season and a great game.
And this young lady is a freshman, Jan. She has got 3 more years of this to go.
That within itself is amazing, to put those kind of stats together as a freshman. Bunt, looks at Dumanich, looks, fields it, throws it, and 1 out. So Wolf will sit down.
Coach Kayla Straub from the Lanesville Eagles, she's just trying to figure out a way to get some runners on base here and make something happen. It looks like we are going to have a pinch hitter here. Adkins is going to be the pinch hitter for the Eagles.
Let's take a look at Adkins' stats.
I'm trying to find her on the list. Christina Atkins, she's a .333 hitter, sophomore.
So right now, trailing 3 runs, you've got to try to come up with something, Brad. So Atkins steps in for her first at bat, and the pitch is high for a ball. 1 out in the inning for Lanesville Eagles. Swung on, foul back.
The light rain continues here, and what we just heard from the crew down in the truck, it looks like there are some showers in the area, but fortunately no thunder and lightning in the area, otherwise the game would definitely have to be stopped.
This Oiler defense has just not allowed Lanesville to ever catch any momentum to date. 1 ball, 2 strikes now to Atkins. She's now batting in the 9th position. Wolf will be our next batter. Still 1 ball, 2 strikes. Bottom of the 6th. 1 more to go if the rain can hold off. Here's the pitch. And she went around and a strikeout.
Strikeout number 10.
Allison Wolf, the left fielder, the leadoff batter. Let's take a look at that.
Just can't lay off that high heat there, Jan.
Boy, she really has that slow riser, too. It comes in and just elevates on you.
It just looks like, from the batter's perspective, that's going to be right across the belt. And then it sails up, and you swing through it.
A little bunt, fielded by the catcher. And they throw it away. And the runner will advance to second. Now she's going to 3. And she's going to stand up with 3, Brad, off that throw.
What an unfortunate chain of events for the Whiting Oilers there. It looked like, I believe the catcher, Leanne Martinez, fielded that ball. Let's watch how this all develops here. And she throws, and it looked like it hit. It actually hit Wolf in the back and then bounded down there, down the right field line, almost down into the bullpen there. And the runner, Allison Wolf, is going to end up on third base. They're giving her a hit on that play, and that surprises me a little bit.
Surprised me. The interesting thing here, Morrow was backing up to throw to first, so she was really up, and so she had to sprint back to get the ball.
Exactly.
There's
exactly.
A foul ball, but right now, more importantly for Lanesville, Brad, they've got a spark and a potential run here at third.
They've got a chance here. Now let's watch this again here. There goes the ball, and it actually did not hit her. I thought it might have hit her in the back, and Mora came in there to back up the play, and the ball got beyond her, and it ends up putting Wolf on third base with what they are calling a hit.
Dorgay, what they miss, and I think the pitcher kind of and the catcher that time almost kind of collided, and I think that caused Martinez some trouble fielding the ball cleanly. Here comes the pitch, and swung on, foul back.
And of course, the other thing that's very difficult on that play, Jan, is that ball was just right on the right-hand side marker there. And as the runner is going down there, you just haven't got much room for error in throwing that ball. And she threw to the outside rather than the inside. If she'd thrown to the inside, maybe she'd have got that call.
High heat will sit down Dorgay, and that'll do it. Lanesville gets a runner on, but can't do anything with it. So at the bottom of 6, we're going to the 7th, but first this timeout. For Whiting, it's 3-3-0. For Lanesville, 0-1-3. This will be it, the 7th inning. And Whiting will be up to bat in their top of the 7th, Brad, and they'll certainly want to try to put more runs on. You can never have enough in a state championship game.
The 9, 1, and 2 batters coming up this inning for the Whiting Oilers here in the top of the 7th. Kind of an unfortunate way for Mel Dusimich to lose her no-hitter. I really thought that probably should have been a throwing error on that play at first, but the official scorers have ruled that a hit. Now, we can't take anything away from the job that Allison Horton has done out here. She has done a great job pitching out here, but the errors have been the difference in this game, Jan.
Well, no question about it. It's just, when you get to this level, and every play means so much, an error, it seems like it's just compiled even more than it is sometimes.
Sure is.
And this young lady has thrown a very good ball game. Unfortunately, for her and her team, she's down 3 runs. She's going to look at the 9th batter, Simonek.
Simonek's grounded to the shortstop and popped out to the second baseman so far in this game. 0 for 2.
1 ball, 1 strike. As Lanesville will do their best to try to get out of this 7th. With no more damage, there's a pop-up fly to the infield shortstop. Dorgay fields it cleanly and 1 out.
Nice play there by Erin Dorgay. She just camped underneath that ball, made sure she had that glove up there to squeeze that ball in there and make sure that she didn't drop that.
So that brings back up the top of the order for Horton now to face. The freshman pitches in there high to Diminich.
Talk about the game that Horton's had so far, Jan. She's got 7 strikeouts so far in this game versus 11 for Dumasic.
Diminich walked last time up, advanced to second. Just a freshman. That is just remarkable.
It's amazing. She's got such a career ahead of her, not only high school-wise, but probably a great future at a collegiate program.
That pitch is in there for a strike. So Horton now ahead of this hitter, 1-2, 1 out.
If the scouts haven't been looking at her, they certainly will be.
Swung on, popped up, will it stay fair? No, it does not.
Left fielder Allison Wolf was going over toward that ball. I think if that ball stayed in fair territory, she probably would have been able to make the play on it. She was playing fairly close to the left field line there, but it just goes as another strike against Mel Dumasic.
What's amazing about her, you talk about her pitching, talk about her hitting, 485. That's a fantastic. There's a slicer right off the second base bag and a base hit.
That ball was going to be a hit any way you look at it. The only luck that Lanesville would have had is if that ball would have bounced into the mid of Beth Dorgay off second base. But anyways, Mel Dumasic, she's on there with the 4th hit of the day for the Oilers. Let's watch this thing hit the base. It kind of bounces and bounces right up and almost, really not that far from the glove of Beth Dorgay there.
Bunt attempt by Franco, in for a strike. Franco 0 for 3 so far today. Another bunt attempt. Horton throws that outside. Here comes the 1-1 pitch from Horton. Bunt is fouled back again. That'll make it 1-2 now.
Let's see what Franco does here with 2 strikes. She's a 182 batter, Jan, so I'm kind of wondering if Coach Laub might be having her bunt again, even though the foul bunt would be an automatic out. But not that potent of a hitter, but maybe a better bunter than a hitter.
Franco looks, the Horton pitch. 2-2 now to Franco. Franco batting just 182 for the season.
Watch this pitch come in here, just a little bit low.
There's a pass ball, and boy, you just cannot afford any of that right now if you're Lanesville.
That's the last thing that the Eagles want, is to have a runner in scoring position. And of course, Coach Paul Laub, he'd love to have another run here, an insurance run. So Mel Dumasic is out there on second base with 1 out.
Full count now to Franco in the 7th inning, the top of the 7th. Swung on and a miss, so Horton will sit down Franco.
Franco struck out for the 4th time today, Jan.
Now with 2 outs in this inning, that's going to bring up Jansky, the second baseman, number 8.
Kelly Jansky's a .341 hitter.
High.
She's a junior.
You look at down this Whiting Oiler ball club, and they're still relatively young.
Yes, they are. They've got a good future for them.
Swung on, a foul back.
Still a little bit of rain coming down, not quite as much as there was here a few minutes ago. Most of the umbrellas have been put away, but the parkas and the hoods and the hats are definitely out.
Boy, that was inside, and they give her a ball, 2-1. We'll have the awards ceremony following this ball game. There's a hit to the right fielder. It's caught for the inning. Harbison makes a nice grab. So that will do it for the top of the 7th for the Whiting Oilers. They still lead by 3. Lanesville will come up for their part of the 7th to see if they can make some noise. But first, this timeout. The 7th inning now. Brad, let's take a look at her pitcher, where she's at to date.
Well, Mel Dumasic, there isn't really much you can say other than the fact 11 strikeouts, 1 hit. And at best a questionable hit, but the official score, I just checked with them, they said that was definitely a hit. So we'll take I'm sure that Whiting will be happy to take a one-hitter.
I'm thinking a medal around your neck, you don't care how many hits there were. Dorgay, Horton, and Royalty will be your 3rd, 4th, and 5th batters now. And boy, if you're Lanesville, every pitch so important. You've got to get some base runners here.
The heart of the order coming up here, good hitters.
1-1 now to Dorgay.
Well, the umpire is signaling 2-1 here, Jan. The board has got it 1-1, but he just signaled 2-1.
Well, you know what? We'll go with him. There's a pop-up. 1 out. To the third baseman.
Third baseman Liz Karash was right where she needed to be for that ball. You'll typically see the players in the later innings playing close to the line to guard against the double, but Liz was also in far enough inside of the bag. You'll watch where she's positioned. She's just perfectly positioned to make that play and puts that ball away.
That'll bring up Allison Horton, the pitcher. Horton going to try to help her cause here.
Jan, we've talked a lot about how Mel Dumasic has done, but you've also got to give a lot of credit to Allison Horton. She has pitched a whale of a game. Both of these pitchers have done a great job.
Well, no question about it. It's everything we thought it would be in a pitcher's duel. There's a swing and a miss.
Fortunately for Mel, she's had the support of the fielders. One bad play that turned into a hit looked like it could have led to a run, but it didn't. But unfortunately for Allison, a couple key errors led to that 3 runs in the 4th inning.
Here comes the pitch. Oh, and she actually hit it with the top of her bat, fouled it off. 1 ball, 2 strikes now. Boy, the Whiting fans, you can see them in your shot there just to the right of your screen, and I'm not sure what he looks like, a upside down green snow cone.
Well, they are the Oilers, so.
Horton stays in there and battle. Boy, is she a battler or what? There's just no tomorrow. You've got to try your best here. No loser in this game. They're going to crown a state champion, but boy, even to be a state runner-up, a lot of teams would love that title.
What you've got here in Allison Horton is you've got a pitcher who's ending her career, her high school career, and going on to college, and another pitcher out there who's just at the beginning of what is going to be a great career. Both of these pitchers really deserve a lot of credit for this game, Jan. They have both done what they needed to do.
Horton continues to battle. She knows she has to stay in there.
I think one of the differences in this game has been, too, as far as the pitching, Jan, is that Mel Dumasic, she has been able to get ahead of almost every one of the batters. She has very seldom been working from behind in the count.
You know, Horton's looking at the pitch, and she knows not only does her team need a run, Brad, but this very well could be her last high school at-bat. She's battling.
It's a great time that she was able to make the state finals, but also a frustrating time that it's going to be all over here soon.
Full count. Boy, she just stays in there and battles and battles and fouls another one off.
You know, you look at it from a pitching perspective, look at it from a batting perspective. This has been a great at-bat and a great pitch for this particular series here.
Boy, look for maybe some off-speed stuff coming here after she's fouled off so many. And there's a shot and foul ball. Oh, my goodness.
Oh, my.
Horton got all of that one, and it just went foul.
This ball looks like it may stay in, but I think the wind grabbed that and just barely pulled that ball foul. Horton easily could have been on second or third with that if that had stayed fair.
Well, what a tribute. Her fans are up on their feet just cheering her for battling and the career she's had. And boy, if she can get another one of those, Brad, and straighten it out.
Yeah.
A lot of things have happened with one out.
Well, you got to give these Lanesville fans credit. I mean, they're down 3-0. 2 more outs left here in the last inning, and they're up just cheering their kids on.
Full count. She's been at full count for a while now. Here she goes. Pops this one up. This one's not near as deep, and it is one.
Wow, did you see that catch?
Oh, my goodness, what a catch
Patty
by Mora.
Oh, my. Watch this replay. Patty Mora catches this ball on the run, and she is just barely going to get this thing into the end of her mitt. She definitely saves what would have been at least a double or triple. And look at that snow cone sticking right out there at the end.
Well, that's what high school athletics is all about. What a great shot. Effort, determination. And the Whiting Oilers are smelling 1 out away, but Lanesville says not over just yet. There's a fly ball.
That could be it.
This could be it. And the Whiting Oilers have a perfect, undefeated Class 1A state championship.
33-0. A storybook has come to fruition, Jan.
Unbelievable game. Let's talk quickly about the pitching. What did she finalize with?
Well, the pitching, Dumasic ended up with 11 strikeouts. Horton ended up with, where have I got it here? There it is. She had 7. But both of these pitchers did a fantastic job, Jan. And this was, unfortunately, for the Lanesville Eagles, they made a couple errors at a key time in the game. And that just led to the 3 runs that the Oilers got in the 3rd inning. And what can you say?
Well, I can say it was a fantastic ball game. We're going to be going to the award ceremony. Both crowds all into the game. But, you know, let's talk about Lanesville. No shame in being a state runner-up.
Oh, no, and Lanesville has done a great job here, Jan. Their season ends at 16-10. But they came into this tournament having lost 4 of their last 5 games, but then put together a 5-game winning streak to end up at 16-10, and just an incredible season for them. A more incredible for the Whiting Oilers.
Let's take a timeout. When we come back, we're going to have the award ceremony. We'll be back and take a look at these Whiting state champions.
Scholarship to the winning student. Since 1989, over $512,000 in college scholarships have been presented by Indiana Insurance to deserving high school students in our state. So on behalf of the IHSAA, please join us in saying thank you to Indiana Insurance for its generous support of our student athletes. After we announce the name of the recipient, we invite primers on the field. The recipient of this award, while a student in grade 12, was nominated by the principal and coach. Excelled in mental attitude, athletic ability, scholarship, and leadership during the 4 years of high school. Participated in the state finals in the sport and was selected by members of the IHSAA Executive Committee. So today we are ladies and gentlemen the winner of the 2006 MIT Award for Class A softball is Liz Ferrari. Smith of Indiana Farm Bureau Insurance will get a check in the amount of $1,000 for Whiting High School. This money will be added to the General Scholarship Fund in the name of the Live for Ours. Thank you again to Indiana Farm Bureau for the Live for Ours and Whiting High School.
Dokie.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to have the presentation of your runner-up medal. The 2006 Class A State runner-up Making the presentation of the NBISSA will be Mr. Pat Hayes of Delta High School, assisted by head wrestler of South Adams. Presenting first to Caitlin Dean, Caroline Gorgay, Shelby Fonda, Robert Rosenberg, Hannah Snyder, Brett Blom, Amanda Johnson, Rachel Stevenson, Ashley Royalty, Alice Wolf, Christina Atkins, Aaron Hardison, Amy Carson, Ashley Kipler, Allison Horton, Leanne Wolf, Beth Gorgay, Manager Jessica Record, Coach Kayla Cruz, Assistant Coach Jack Bell, Assistant Coach Kirsten Kellum, Assistant Coach Brittany Price, Rick Holt, Janet Page, Assistant Coach Athletic Director Matt Kellum, Equipment Manager Jerry Getline, Team Statistician and Rebound Crew. And now the presentation of the runner-up trophy and game ball made by head wrestler of South Adams, representing the Indiana High School Athletic Association. Your runner-up for 2006 Class A, Lakeville Eagle.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, it's time for the presentation of the championship medals to 2006 Class A champion Whiting Oilers. Making the presentation of the championship medals are Deb Stevens from Caston and Mike Whitten of Boonville, members of the IHSA Executive Committee. Presenting first to Mel Dumasic. Sam Plavick. Katie Bazat. Alex Simonek. Katie Beta. Kelly Jansky. Rachel Maslakowski. Ashley Keltika. Victoria Franco. Adi Cruz. Patty Moore. Natalie Mendez. Liz Karash. Leanne Martinez. Superintendent Sandy Martine. Principal Dirk Flick. Assistant Athletic Director Joel Romero. Trainer Becky Oliver. Scorekeeper Nick Suarez. Assistant Coach Kelly Greer. Assistant Coach Michelle Cobley. Assistant Coach Bruce Stewart. And your head coach, Paul Lobb. And now the presentation of the championship trophy to your 2006 Class A champion, Whiting Oilers. The presentation will be made by Deb Stevens of Caston High School. Whiting is the first undefeated team to ever win a state softball championship in the 22-year history of the tournament. Congratulations to the Oilers.